Yeah, if you wait, you're just going to have a higher share price. So if you want to get less shares, wait. 'Cause, I mean, it's HEX is designed to reward those that get in earlier. That's part of the theory. If you get in early, you get a lower share price. You get in before the big payday. You can't possibly ever get a lower share price than you would get today, because it only goes up forever. It's a neat mechanism.
One of the interesting things I was trying to explain to them was about earnings per share
Mm-hmm.
on that basis. What do you see um, the share rate going to? Not the price of the share, but how many hex per share are we going to
It's
get? Is
really
interesting thing.
it will asymptote a bit. Most people aren't gonna know what that word means. It will. Right now, you're getting a very linear increase nearly every day because so many people aren't staking, but the currency supply keeps increasing, which reduces the percentage that are staked, which increases the payout per share. Once the big payday happens, there isn't a constant inflation, and so there isn't a constant reduction in the percentage of the people that are staking, and so you should have an evening out of that increase. Because right now it went from maybe 1 up to 4, and then it just spiked up to 13 because some guy had a big emergency end stake of 170 million yesterday. But then tomorrow should be, unless somebody else does a similar end stake thing, it should be like back into the like 4 area, 4 hex per tera share. And then that, if people keep acting the same way, and the majority of coins aren't staking, right? So I think only like 13 or 14% of coins are staking right now. If that continues, then it will keep going up until the big payday, and then it should flatten out. It's really a function of what people choose to do. If a bunch of people end their stakes and staking participation is even lower, okay, then it's going to go up even more. If a bunch of people stake and stay staked, well, then it's going to go down. It's a dynamic system based on what percentage of people are staking and how much profit's coming in. So some guy did a big emergency end stake. That profit goes right to. So he paid 170 million in penalties. 85 million of that goes to the stakers, because it goes half with the OA, the origin address, and half to the stakers. So of his 170 million penalty that he paid, 85 million of that's going to the staker class, which is the reason instead of getting 4 hex per share, yesterday you got 13 hex per share. You got triple pay yesterday because of some guy's emergency end stake. That's very cool, because you're the bank. In HEX, you're the bank if you're in the staker class. That's the other interesting thing about HEX is, if you're an average length, average size staker, there isn't actually any inflation to you because it's being paid to you. The average staker has no dilution or inflation because he's the one that it's being paid to. There's no negative externalities there. In Bitcoin, the mining companies are continually paying power companies to pollute and paying weird offshore hardware manufacturers. HEX doesn't have those negative externalities, so it doesn't have that constant downward sell pressure. It's beautiful. It's really beautiful.
How long were you thinking about Hex before you launched it?
Oh man, I was forced to think about it longer than I wanted to, just because software's hard. If you want to do it securely, chuck an extra year or two on there, because you run into things. You're like, oh, there's a bug. Oh, there's another bug. Oh, there's a bug. And then you have to solve these things. Like, one of the things that we ran into was, how do you make sure that short stakes can't be compounded over and over again to outperform long stakes? You had to invent the share price system. Otherwise, people could outperform staking by just staking a little bit and then rotating it over and staking a little bit and rotating it over. And then you have, compounding exponential interest versus kind of linear interest. So what do? We introduced share price that makes it so that that's impossible. A longer stake will always make more HEX than a shorter stake, no matter what you do.
I think it was an absolute stroke of genius. Just that one factor there.
Very, very neat. A share price chart that only goes up forever looks pretty sexy to a speculator, I tell you. That looks pretty cool.
For sure.
And I mean, it's literally just mathematically equivalent to compounding interest. So if we were gonna, I mean, if you wanted to reward existing shareholders for their participation, you could pay them the rewards every day. And now you're spamming the database with writing all this data. So, you got 100,000 stakes, and now we're going to write the profit to those 100,000 stakes. Blockchain would fill right up. Everything would be a nightmare. Or we could do something computationally more intelligent and just change one number, which is the share price, and make it more expensive for new guys to get shares. And since it's a pool-based system where you're just comparing how many shares this guy's got versus everybody else, it's easier to reduce new guys than to amplify old guys, because you're changing one number instead of hundreds of thousands of numbers. So it's computationally efficient, looks beautiful on a chart. And Bitcoin does something similar. Bitcoin has a difficulty that updates every 2 weeks, where they keep increasing the difficulty that you have to meet in order to mine a block reward. HEX just does kind of the same thing. So the HEX share price is similar to the Bitcoin block reward in the way that it updates.
So, Richard, I am actually going to have to jump off this call now. As I say,
great.
I've just come out of quarantine.
Yep.
I've got the opportunity to go out for lunch.
Have fun, man.
I'm going to do. So, would you like to just sum up why people should get involved in HEX today?
Sure. It is the world's first Bitcoin. It is the world's first thing that attacks the CD market, which is $7 trillion. It also does currency better than Bitcoin. That's worth $5 trillion. You can mint it for free if you're a Bitcoin holder. It's been up 92x versus Bitcoin, or 72x, or some large number of x, 116x versus the dollar. It's up 70x or 65x versus the dollar now since January 5th. It's best performing cryptocurrency in 2020. You've got huge opportunity from gatekeeping is happening, where people that haven't heard of us yet could hear about us. You're in before it's gone viral. The share price is going up. The big paydays very soon. People are looking forward to it. It only happens one time. Everything that you could want to have in a currency is here. It's really, really, really beautiful. It's even exceeding my expectations, and I have high expectations. You can even kind of, like, if you self-refer yourself, getting a 32% bonus is really nice. So whatever Ethereum you transform into HEX, you're going to get 32% more. Very cool. Very, very cool. No sign up, no AML, no KYC, no selfies. It's just you minting your own coins, just like a Bitcoin miner. Bitcoin miner mines his own coins, prints his own reward. Same with HEX. It's really, really beautiful. And everyone that's talked crap and said bad things about HEX, they've all been proven wrong. Look at the chart. Look at the history. Hundreds of people that thought they were experts were all proven wildly wrong. They could have been saved if they had chosen to agree with me instead of disagree. But they thought they were smarter. They're not. I've been outperforming for decades. I retired at the age of 25. I've been a serial success time and time and time and time again. I was retired before Bitcoin was invented. I retired in 2003. Bitcoin was invented in 2009. Don't make the same mistake that so many other people did. When Bitcoin came out and people called it a scam at $1, it went up to $20,000. Now HEX is here. A lot of people are calling it a scam. Those are the people that are going to cost you a lot of money. If you like Bitcoin, would you have liked to have 50 times more of it? If you'd like the dollar, would you have liked to have 100 times more of it? Well, some people really did that in HEX. They really made an absolute killing, and this is just the beginning. So, read the website, read the disclaimers. Basically, the disclaimer says, look, cryptocurrency is volatile. Even Bitcoin's dropped 85% a few times, flash crashed to zero, different places. Technically, HEX can't actually go to zero on Uniswap because you can never actually get the price down to zero there. So it's kind of an interesting little mathematical fact. Is there anything else? I think that's it. Like, if you want, come to chat us with, we got 20,000 members inside t.me/hex crypto. Wonderful chat room. There's a bunch of frequently asked questions that are answered there that aren't answered anywhere else. So if you type !pasta, it gives you the menu of all the cool things. You can read the white paper, type !lay, gives you a link to the white paper. Join the chat. If you want to follow me on Twitter, I've got, 63,000 people over there, I think. Twitter.com/RichardHartWin. And then Conrad's got his referral link there, but you've been told about self-referral too. So those are both nice options. I think that's it. I wrote a self-help book called Scivive. You can download for free in its draft version if you want. t.me/Scivive. It's really 2 books, and they're pretty long. You're talking like many, many, many hundreds of pages. I think they total together like 500 pages or something silly. So no shortage of content.